This is the 2024 Chevy Silverado EV RST first edition. Now this one, as you can see, it is painted in black. By comparison, most if not all of the other Chevy Silverado EV RST first edition models that we've seen thus far have been coated in a shade of blue. So this one is, well, quite rare. I'd like to give you an exterior tour of this all-new truck right now.
Motronics.
Starting with the front end, over here we have Chevy's highbrow design language on full display, complete with a light bar and the frunk, so there is no grille. We'll talk about that here in a second. So let's start with first the hood. You can see the surface development here on the hood itself. Big, sweeping, long, powerful bulges here on each side of the hood. And in the middle, you're gonna have this surface development element here with Chevy's signature spine treatment. I don't know if you can see it under the sunlight here, but the spine is certainly here. It runs through the hood, down through the actual Chevy bow tie, which is black in this case, and then through the entire front fascia here. So the spine is present and accounted for on Chevy EVs. From there are the headlights. So this is an execution of Chevy's highbrow design treatment. And what that means essentially is that you have a highbrow or an eyebrow here essentially at the top, which serves as the daytime running light. And then you have the actual headlamp right here below it. So that's a big change compared to how Chevy's been doing lighting in its internal combustion engine trucks for really forever, where you had a headlight here at the top, followed by maybe a fog light at the bottom. Now the headlight is here at the bottom and the accent light, the daytime running light, is here. And as you may notice, you do have the light bar running the width of the entire truck here. At the very edges of the highbrow treatment, you have the reflector, this amber reflector, and the black Chevy bow tie. I believe it is present on both edges of the truck. Yep, there it is. The headlights right there, and then below that you have the front air curtain treatment. So there is one inlet here for that and one just below that as well. Both of these are functional. If you can take a look at that right there, if you see it right there, there's the top one and then the bottom one right there. Given that this is an EV, a grille is not really all that necessary. So this here instead is blocked off. And then there is kind of a bottom breather type of setup here with the grille, two grills really at the bottom. One there, and then as you can see, one below it. The Super Cruise sensors are located there. And then there is a front camera integrated right here. Black Chevy bow tie here. RST Rally Sport Truck badge right there. As we keep making our way around this truck, you'll see quite a few things, starting with wheels. That's right, these are 24-inch wheels. Huge wheels, very intricate design. These are 275 50 R24, and these are Michelin Primacy LTX tires. I really do like the way the wheel design is executed here. You do have kind of a silver fascia to the rims themselves, black trim here, as well as in these pockets right there. You do have a nice wide fender here, along with a treatment right here as well. Side mirror, pedestal style mount right here, along with an integrated turn signal indicator, and there is one of the cameras there. So you have the camera at the front, you have a camera on each side, and this being the RST, it does have quite a few blacked out elements, including the DLO treatment. So as you can see, there's not an ounce of chrome here. Instead, this is black. The actual window treatment is black. Nothing else is chrome, not the mirror caps. These are black as well. Nothing else except for the Silverado badge down here with the blue E to indicate that this is an EV. These are fixed running boards, they're not deployable. You also have a set of keyless entry on each side, on each door handle rather. So front doors as well as the rear doors. Interesting treatment here with kind of a wheel spat or a a guard treatment right there. That's interesting. I didn't notice that before. And then you get to the sail panel. So that's the sail panel right here. This is kind of an interesting design element that makes this truck reminiscent of the now discontinued Chevy Avalanche of the past. I should note that this step, even though it does run the length of the wheelbase, there's not enough of it to actually access the bed from the side. So if I wanted to access the bed from the side, I couldn't just step in here and access it, because you can see the step ends there, the bed begins way past that. So that's something to keep in mind. There is, however, at the top, you have a glass roof. It looks black, but it actually is glass. Here's the comms fin right here. Show you the interior in a separate video. And as we keep making our way around to the rear of this truck, you'll see a few things. First, you'll see that this does have the multi-flex tailgate, the multi-position tailgate, operated by these two buttons. This button drops the inside tailgate, while the actual left button drops the tailgate as a whole. This is a power tailgate, and it is an easy lower tailgate, so it doesn't just drop on you. It actually lowers gracefully, which is nice. From here, black Chevy bow tie, interesting tail lamps. Take a look at these tail lamps. They are humongous. You might not be able to tell just how big they are, but I'll put my hand there for context. This is a very large tail lamp. So you have a forward sweeping kind of an element here. Then you have an interesting chrome design. This is the only part of the truck that actually has some chrome. That's an interesting element there. And then the inside red graphic, it actually continues to the rear of the truck here, lowers into there. And then you do have on the inside this element there. That's pretty cool. It's kind of a tri-bar setup here. And I don't know if Chevy did this to emulate this tri-bar from the E from the Silverado, but it certainly does seem to be the case. There is an integrated mud guard, it seems, right there behind the front wheel. And then there's another one front of the rear wheel. Let's see what's going on back here behind the actual rear wheel. Well, not much, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, you do have the Chevrolet script in here in the actual forwardmost part of the top of the tail lamp right there. It's a little difficult to see in these lighting conditions, but it is there. There it is, Chevrolet written in there. You also have a reflector in here, what looks like a reflector, yep. So you do have a handhold, and that works in conjunction with the corner step rear bumper. It does look a little different on the Silverado EV, and that's because the corner step rear bumper is actually here, part of the integrated rear bumper instead of a separate it is on the internal combustion powered Silverado models currently. You also have some parking sensors here going all the way around the rear bumper. There they are, there, and last one right there. And then the charge port door, there it is. Opening that up, plug, and then the DC fast charge right there as well. RST badge right there. Silverado with the blue E right there as well. You have the rear bumper with some textures. A few interesting little details here. This texture on the left side of the truck, on the driver's side, you can kind of see them as boomerangs, and they kind of point that way, whereas the same on the passenger side of the truck, they point this way. And then here you kind of have this X brace set up right there. Trailering connectors there, tow hitch right there, and what else can I show you? There is a built-in spoiler here at the rearmost end of the roof. Check that out right there. And it does have some LED lights. The trim sill is there, the center high mounted stop lamp, along with two cameras, the bed camera as well as the camera that powers the rear camera mirror. Here's that tail lamp again. You might be able to see the Chevrolet script easier in here now, or better, but maybe not. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's take a look at the bed. There is also a camera right there That actually only works the rear view camera for when you're in reverse. And then there is that tri-bar pattern. So I think this is not by accident. I think this is very much integrated with this and very much integrated with that. So some nice Easter eggs from Chevy when it comes to its first EV pickup. Okay, and now the bed. Here's the bed. This is quite a sizable bed. You can see it's actually quite wide. They really moved out the edges and stamped out the edges of the bed as far to the outside of the bed as possible, as far to the outside of the box as they could. You only have really the wheel wells right there. This is meant to be used in conjunction with the actual tailgate. If you drop it down, you can use this as a step. In fact, I can do that right now. If I press this button, there it goes. And then I hit this, and I have myself a step. That's the multi-flex tailgate there. And then this has the midgate. I can't show it to you now because this is a pre-production unit, so there are some things that are not production ready and they don't want me to messing with it, but this does fold down. You can see it's a 60-40, 60 on this end, 40 on the passenger side end of the truck. And by folding it, you can essentially store and carry longer items, which is very useful. Those of you who remember the Chevy Avalanche that I mentioned earlier will very much appreciate the folding midgate. And then over here you have some power outlets. There's a 120, a 120, and a 240. Check that out. That is some massive power right there. So those are and there's actually two on each side there, which is very nice. There are also tie downs here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and there should be a fourth one down there at the bottom. Yep, there's a fourth one right down there at the very bottom of the bed. So 4 on each side, 4 tie downs on each side. You can also get some accessory ones that would plug into there as well as to there. So that's 2 more right there. So that's 6 per side. Same thing is repeated on the passenger side of the bed here. You have some bed lighting here. These work in conjunction with the lights at the top of the spoiler there. If I can focus on those, there they are. I think there you have it. The 2024 Chevy Silverado EV RST First Edition. This is quite a handsome truck, and this is also the first time that I myself am seeing it in black.
Motrolics.